Hi everyone, how you doing? Dan right here. And as you can see, of course I'm not up in the mountains. I can't get up there right now. There's no way in hell I can get there. So I just gotta ride this out. I'm gonna try to see if I can get up there sometime this week. So what I'm doing here today is, do you guys remember the video I made previously on it happened in 1948, and it had to do with Nettie? And remember I told you that first time we had the interview that I asked her if she would allow me to put her on camera, and she declined. Well, guess what? I got some good news for you. Took a lot of talking and whatever, but like I told you, she's a jewel, and she went and agreed to let me put her on camera. So with no further ado, I want to introduce you to Nettie, and she's also going to tell you her story herself. Okay, so let me introduce you to Nettie. Nettie, you want to come over here, please? Over here, say.
Okay.
I want to thank you for allowing me into your home and conducting this interview. I know that the last time we talked that you really didn't want to be on camera, and so obviously you changed your mind and you're ready to tell your story to the public.
Okay.
And all you have to do is just look right at the camera. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Nettie, and like I told you, she's a jewel, and she's going to tell you her story in her own words. Okay, you know, I like conducting my research like this too, because I know I get from time to time I get people that disbelieve sometimes of what I say. Well, guys that have known me by now, I always back my mouth up. Anyway, I really appreciate this, Nettie, and I know my viewers are going to appreciate this.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let Nettie, she's going to go ahead and she's going to tell the story in her own words, and we'll go ahead and we'll get this started. So, so when you had this experience, and this experience happened in the year of 1948.
Yes.
And that would put you about 13 years old. Now, when we talked, you were telling me that you and your sister went out for the evening, and you ended up in the wooded area by the creek in the park, correct? Okay. Would you go ahead and would you tell my viewers your story?
Okay.
Go ahead.
My sister and me was in the park, and they were turning over, more like. And so I just came to a stop and quit, like the others did, because they were going by. That's all I can say.
Do you recall when you went out that evening? You went by the creek, correct? And you ran into these gentlemen in the wooded area.
Well, yes, more or less.
And they were already observing some creatures?
There were already a bunch of them.
And how many creatures were there?
I would say about 5 or 6
I thought you told me there was 4.
or 4. Well, that's me. I'm always.
But in either case, it was a small group, correct?
Yeah.
So it could have been 4 or 5.
Yeah. Okay. That's about it.
And when you observed these creatures,
Yeah.
have you ever seen anything like it before in your life?
Mm-mm.
Did you know what they were?
All I know was they were big, very big.
Were they extremely large?
Mm-hmm. And I just froze and just quit.
And what did the one gentleman tell you?
And then after that, they didn't say nothing. Because the men that was showing off,
Mm-hmm.
okay, they, when those creatures came in, they froze down too. They're not going to go any further. And that's about it.
Did one of them tell you to, did he tell you to like not move?
Yeah.
Be quiet?
Yeah.
And they won't harm you?
Yes, they did.
Is that what they said?
We just froze. And then, because it was my sister and me. And we just froze because they were so big and just, it was just, actually, it scared the hell out of me.
I
You know what I
imagine,
mean?
yes, I imagine it would. I imagine it would.
Yeah, so we just froze and let them go. That was in the park. Yeah.
By the wooded area?
Mm-hmm.
Now you said one of them got up and turned around and walked off into the woods, and the other ones followed. The creatures.
I don't think so.
You guys just stared at each other.
They just froze.
So they froze
Because
and you froze.
That those big the people.
Mm-hmm.
So they even froze. It scared the hell out of them. So, but they went along, did their business, and then they were gone.
Do you remember what they looked like at all?
Their face, I remember that.
What did their face look like?
Like you like that.
What, hair like this?
Yeah.
And what color was the skin?
Mm-hmm.
What was the skin kind of like human?
Yeah, they were humans.
They look human,
Mm-hmm.
but not human, right?
Mm-hmm. Because they were scary. I mean, they were scary. So we all just froze and didn't do anything until they left.
Before you had that experience, did you ever hear of anybody in town at that time period that talked about such creatures?
Not really.
Do you know that if anybody other than you had, and the group of men you were with, that at any given time have seen those creatures before?
No, I've never seen it before.
So that was first and last time?
Yeah. That was they never came back.
And they never came back?
Mm-mm.
Would you know maybe pretty close to how tall the tallest one was? Do you think he was over 7 feet?
Pretty close.
Really big?
That was scary, yeah.
Was really thick and wide?
They were big people. They were rare, big.
Now, when you said you saw the face, now, they didn't have hair all over their face, right? It was kind of like my beard.
Yeah, it wasn't the whole face or
Okay, so
anything.
this area was...
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Good, because that's how I see them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time you've ever told anybody, correct? You
Yeah.
pretty much well kept it to yourself
Yeah.
for all these years.
Yeah.
And I can imagine you probably didn't want to talk about it no more.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to let you know that, through my research, that it was definitely very possible for them to come down from the Sierras to come down into the valley to where you were at,
Oh, yeah.
where you had your
Definitely.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, before I let you go, I wanted to, have you ever heard of any given time, of a fellow named Dr. Miller?
About the what?
Do you know a Dr. Miller? You
No.
ever heard of a Dr. Miller?
No, I never heard of him.
Have you ever heard of a Jerry Crew?
No.
So you don't know these gentlemen whatsoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And one more thing I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
A what?
Have you ever seen a UFO?
No.
Never seen flying saucers? Not ever?
No.
Yeah, not that day, right?
No.
Okay.
Because we were little kids,
Oh, yeah, young
You know,
teenage, sure, yeah,
and they were just froze,
yeah.
and those big things come pouncing in, and they got scared, and they for it until they stopped. Then they disappeared, just went.
That was it, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's all I know.
Well, there you go, guys. Didn't I tell you, she's a jewel? I hope you liked this video, and I hope you liked Nettie's story. And I want to thank you that allowing me to get this on camera. I really appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
And I appreciate this interview
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that this does bonify what I'm documenting.
Yeah.
Did you also know that in 1948, you are the only story I could find of this caliber,
Mm-hmm.
of such a thing that's even happened in the year of 1948?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I had to do this, you guys. I didn't give up. I was hoping that
Mm-hmm.
Nettie would finally give in and let me do this. And like I said, she's a hell of a jewel. Anyway, I'm gonna go, and so we can continue our conversation. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. And I will try to get back up to the hills this week. So you know me, I gotta go. Catch you later.
Are you guys in it?